Welcome to All About Money. Hong Kong's economy may be going through a rough patch right now, but for a long time, hiring for many industries has been a real headache as the city's working age population shrinks and its struggle with brain drain continues. Yet an earlier survey showed that while 80% of employers trust the capability of people with disabilities, less than 20% of them have plans to hire anyone from the disabled community. Now, to look into this issue, today we have with us the man behind that survey, Walter Tsui, who founded a job matching non-profit for university graduates with disabilities. Walter, thank you so much for coming on the program. Now, first tell us what CareER is and what your mission is.
So CareER is a charity in Hong Kong to support the higher educated people with disabilities and special needs as a charitable job matching platform and a student union and alumni union. So we offer our job matching services with our HR expertise and to offer like peer support as the student union and alumni union.
Right. And what is your mission that you have for your...
So actually we trust the abilities on people with disabilities, and we truly believe that actually we could be able to use our right talents into the job place, and so that we create values for our employers and to develop our career for long term. So that is very important that our member with our own disabilities, we treat it as an explicit kind of weaknesses. And we notice that everyone would have your weaknesses, but we do have our own strength and to be able to contribute and help others.
Right. Now, let's focus first on job seekers. What do you do for them and what's the process for them in terms of job hunting?
So actually we offer, first of all, we recruit our member from the campuses and through our social media and our strong connection with the campus. So actually when the candidate with different kind of disabilities to come to CareER, as long as they're willing to disclose their disabilities and send us their CV, we would do a one-to-one, case-by-case interviews with them with our own recruitment team. So, and then we would try to understand about the disability and their career aspiration, their readiness to be employed. And afterwards, we could be able to offer them like personality assessment and support them with our executive coaching and counseling support. And afterwards, we hope to place them into internship, full-time and part-time according to their needs and career aspiration.
All right. Tell us a bit about these workshops that you host as well for these job seekers. You teach them interview training and you have like pitching workshops, right? Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, that is very important for people with disabilities to do a pitching because we quite focus on how our member actually introduce themselves, because when you come to the opportunity, you got to impress your employers and your HR so that you could be able to have the right opportunity to present your talents. So actually we work with big corporations to ask the HR in the big companies to be our volunteer and to offer mock interviews, coaching, and some of the CV clinic for our members. And actually that is very important. Many of our members, which is the first time for them to dress up in a business attire, to go to the English-speaking environment, to actually express themselves, to present. Actually, that is very inspiring to our member because we trust their ability. Our big companies and our volunteer from the big companies trust their ability so that our member we're trying to live up to the business standard.
Right, interesting. Now, speaking of employers, you guys have what you call the ABLE model. Tell us about that.
Yeah, because we work with over 300 employers, which 100 of them already hired our members. So according to our experience from the last few years, a lot of our employers actually gone through the ABLE model. Actually, A stands for accessibility, because we need to ensure the accessibility on the building design, the office in the workplace. And then on the other side, a lot of people overlook, which is the online accessibility. When you are talking about recruitment, a lot of the things are put online in your recruitment system and your recruitment site. if that website and online attitude test is accessible to all. For example, when people who have like dyslexia, it wouldn't work out very good in like the verbal reasoning test, and people who have visually impaired, and it would have another disadvantage on like some of the graphics when you need to have a limited time to finish the task. So actually we need to make sure the right assessment for our members. The second thing is talking about identify business need, because we truly believe in our job matching services. It's not just about the CSR. It is because we try to place the right talents to our employers, so that it is creating values in the team, in the business, as well as a long-term career development opportunity for our members. So actually finding a way to solve the business problem the manpower needs is the key. The third thing is the learning. When we're talking about learning, it is important to have basic understanding about this, people with disabilities, some of the skills and some of the knowledge on disability etiquette. But we try to avoid employers to be overtrained, because I have heard about some of the big companies keep on thinking about disability confidence, and they're trying to have like over hours and hours training in order to be disability confident. Otherwise, they do not consider to be able to interact with people with disabilities. That I would consider is another positively discrimination for people with disabilities, because when you imagine you work with people coming from another culture, another human being, you do not need to have like 20 or 40 hours of training in order to work with them. But eventually, the last word is experience. So working all those like accessibilities, identified business needs, and the learning, the most important thing is actually offering the interview opportunity and internship, part-time and full-time working opportunity for our members.
Right, so that's the ABLE, ABLE model that you employ.
Yep.
Now, what do you think, in your experience with dealing with these companies, their biggest hurdle in being able to hire or ending up hiring people with disability?
So I think a lot of the actually is not understanding, because there are a lot of the prejudgment and assumption behind. So when we are talking about hiring people with disabilities, a lot of the employers saying, well, I'm in an industrial building, I do not have accessible toilets, I couldn't hire people with disabilities. And then I would just tell them, because we have people not only on wheelchair, people who have different kind of abilities and disabilities, and we are trying to do our job right to place you with the right disabilities and right talents in order to match your business needs. And also, a lot of the prejudgment is because I do not have training, and actually, we're trying to actually lower the information cost for both sides. For example, our members may not have the information about, well, what is the multinational companies, what is the banks do, what is aviation doing, and we're trying to explain from our HR expertise to explain about industry. But on the other side, we provide complete information about our candidates as a cover email to allow our employers to know completely on the physical and the mental constraint on our candidates, so that when they meet each other during a job interviews, they could focus mostly on how they could fit the job, instead of asking about what is the disabilities, how do you live independently in your life, and how do you study, how do you take MTR, how do you pick up your phone. So actually, we're trying to clear up all those uncertain and provide the information, and then eventually the talents can be presented, and that's our key role.
Brilliant. Okay, we'll go to a break now, but thank you for that. Do stay with us. We will be right back with more.